Hi everyone, welcome back to P-Rich. I hope you're doing well and you had a wonderful day. Yes, the Trump's tariffs, everyone knows what they are now and they're in effect. As of when he was talking, he says these are things that affect immediately, and the markets opened in Tokyo in the morning after the news broke. It initially dropped by 5%, then it slowly clawed some of it back. Even the Indian markets initially opened a little negative. Then at the close, all the IT stocks are down when the markets closed. The gold Bs were down and the market itself closed 80 odd points lower. Initially, it looked like it might have been a lot worse, but then I think the domestic institutional investors stepped in and pulled the market back. Like I said, doesn't matter because we're looking for value and we look at these value points and we're looking at a horizon of 10 years, 15 years. So we see value where we can, and in companies and businesses which we understand and we find safety in it. And if you see the value, you buy in small quantities and you keep moving forward. Yes, the world of AI is scary. The world of tariffs are scary. What's going to happen? No one knows, but we will get through it. Humanity has always found a way to get through. We have gotten through worse things than this. We will find as a species a way through this and we'll get out to the other side. Some of us may be bruised a little more than the others, but we will manage. Don't worry too much about in 10 years horizon, 15 years horizon. I really don't see anything that's an existential threat to us. That said, today I want to talk about holding companies. What are holding companies? These companies really don't have any product. They don't sell any goods. They don't sell any services itself. They own shares in other companies and they try and control them. There are two types. There's pure holding company, which just hold what you call shares in other companies. Then you have the mixed holding companies, which they have some products and services at the same time. They hold major chunks in other shares in other companies. Why do they have holding companies? To control without direct management. That means not trying to control the board and the company directly. Indirectly, by being a majority shareholder, you control, and it insulates you from risk, because if you have a holding company which has majority holdings in other various companies and other sectors, you kind of insulate yourself, because if one fails, the others are still there. You still own, control the others. So it's a risk insulation. There are tax advantages, the way it's structured, and it's an easy way to manage assets. Let's say your family has 10 different businesses and it's all very complicated all over the world. But your family is also large and it's complicated, and all of you need to have your share in all these companies. Best way is everything is owned by the holding company. All family members in turn have shares in the holding company. That way everybody gets equal share. So it's a easy way to manage assets. Famous example, all of you should know, is Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is a holding company. And if you don't know about that, I strongly suggest you read the history and understand it. But we're not talking about American markets today. We're talking about holding companies here in India. Specifically, I want to talk about Bajaj versus Tata's. That's a Bajaj holding company and that's a Tata holding company. Tata holding company is called Tata Investment Corporation, and this is Bajaj Holdings. So the two of them. Should you as investors, long-term investors, buy a holding company? Should you invest? And if you do decide to invest, which one should you look at? Please keep in mind, they are very expensive in terms of cost. Bajaj Holdings is around 11 to 12,000 rupees. Bajaj Holdings 11 to 12, Tata is around 6 to 7. So it is a lot of money. It's even for me who says 2,000 rupees a day, tiffin coffee investing, it is way out of range. So my strategy would be to buy, people like us, maybe we can look at buying one share a month. You buy one Bajaj or you buy one Tata investment. That is the way you can look at it. This is not something you can buy on a regular basis unless you're very well to do and you have a lot of money to invest in the market. Then definitely this channel won't be the channel you're watching anyways. So for us newbie investors, if you are interested in this, keep in mind they are expensive in terms of the cost of money per share, not in terms of valuations. That I'm going to dive into at the end of the video. It might give you a reason to think about, is what I hope. What does Bajaj Holding have? Bajaj Holding is a pure holdings company. It has Bajaj Auto, Bajaj Finserv and Maharashtra Scooters. They have controlling stake in these companies. And what does that mean? They have a strong exposure on auto sector and financial sector. Meanwhile, the Tata Investment Corp is a diversified company in the sense that They hold investments across all Tata Group companies. They have IT, steel, power, retail, hospitality, auto, you name it. All the company businesses and dealings which are Tata's, they have their fingers in it. Tata Investment Corp has invested into it. Bajaj Holdings is a very simplified structure. They have direct stakes, meaning they directly own these things. And the family, Bajaj family itself owns 51.46% of Bajaj Holdings. Meanwhile, the Tata's thing is very complicated. It's a complex web of Tata Group cross holdings. It owns Tata Motors and Tata Motors may own something else. You know what I mean? So it's really complicated. It's not very easy to see. And the Tata and Sons own 73.38% of Tata Investment Corp. So the way we analyze these holding companies is called sum of parts. That means each part of their holdings, we find out what in each value is, we add it up, and that gives you the actual intrinsic value of a holding company. So if you look at Bajaj, the implied shares which they own in Bajaj Auto, Bajaj Finserv, and Maharashtra Scooters and all that, if you put it together, it's 2.18 lakh crores. That is the value of the shares they hold. But the market capitalization, Mr. Market, has put it at a valuation. The company, Bajaj Holding itself, as 1.32 lakh crore. That means it's deeply discounted, almost by 39-40%. There is huge value there. Meanwhile, Tata Investment Corp, its market capitalization is 31,545 crore is the market capitalization. Implied value over here, the holdings, that means you see it's very difficult. Like I said, they have a very complex cross holdings. So it's very difficult to see the sum of parts in Tata Investment Corp. But you can say they are invested in across the board in all the Tata Group companies. So it is very hard to see if it is at a premium or if it is at a discount. But the advantage is by holding this, you are invested in most of the Tata Group companies. Like I said, you have exposures in a diverse field. You have IT, steel, retail, power, hospitality, autos, you're in all of them. So that is the advantage in Tata Investment Corp, while Bajaj Holdings is only in auto and finance. In terms of dividends, Bajaj pays twice the dividends of Tata Investment Corp. Both of them have been paying consistent dividend, but Bajaj Auto offers a little more dividend in terms of percentage compared to Tata's, almost double. Tata is around 0.44 percentile, while Bajaj is at 1.05. Now, what is the proposition in terms of risk? Bajaj, because it's an auto and finance, it's a high risk, high reward kind of portfolio because of the auto sector and finance sector being like that. Meanwhile, the Tata is a more conservative approach because they're diversified. So since it's so diversified, it's much lower risk. So if you're looking at it in long term, my personal opinion is because of the deep discount which is very apparent in Bajaj Holdings proves to be a long-term bet in terms of where market valuation stands, and consistent growth is there, and you can look at it. Of course, Bajaj Holdings is 11 to 12,000 rupees a share. Can you afford it? That is the big question. Because for every one Bajaj Holdings you can afford to buy, maybe you can stretch yourself and buy 2 Tata Investment Corp. So this begs the question, should you be buying this? Should you not be buying this? I'm curious to know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments on this. I'm there on Instagram on the Tiffin Coffee range. Of course, this is nowhere near any Tiffin Coffee range investing. This is something which is unique, which I wanted to bring. So if you had a lump sum, should you be buying Bajaj Holdings? These are the kind of questions I wanted to ask you, get a discussion going so I can learn, you can learn, and we can try and figure this out together. Tomorrow is another day, another opportunities which present itself in the market. Take those opportunities and invest in Tiffin Coffee range as always. Be very careful. Don't get overexcited if you see the market correcting deeply, or don't get despondent if the market suddenly moves to the green extremely, like it did a couple of days ago. These things are irrelevant. What is only relevant is the companies you're looking at, the business which you're interested in. Is it at a value proposition now? If it is at a value proposition, then take in consideration your funds and invest in Tiffin Coffee range and log off and move on and do other things with your life. Like I always say, consistency is the key, commitment is the key. The rest of it really doesn't matter. Always remember, the biggest critic and the biggest person you have to fight with is yourself. It is the voices in your head. It is not the people outside. It is not your trolls. It is not your naysayers. The biggest person who's trying to stop you from achieving anything in life is the person living between both your ears. So try and become friends with your mind and calm it down so you can get some work done. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Before we end out the week, it's the last day of the week. Thanks for watching the video. See you tomorrow. Bye.